Yeah. And then hit your 30 seconds. You got this.
It didn't work. This is redonkulous. Redonkulous.
Perfect.
And I don't even think people care.
Hey, why do they care about 30 seconds? They already know. They know it's coming. They're just like, where is this? You know what? We'll give them 30 seconds. Ready? 30, 29. Wait, what comes after 28? No.
We're trying to be professional here, but you know what? I don't think we are that. We are not that.
There's nothing professional about us.
I know. It's okay. We're here on Valentine's Day,
Oh, yeah, nice.
of which I totally forgot.
Does that mean it's
But
my
then
birthday?
again,
Oh,
yeah. Then again, not everyone is celebrating Valentine's Day. They probably rather sprint
well,
and
it's
do
8
something
o'clock.
productive.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's 5:01 here,
Mhm.
so I'm like slightly off.
It's okay. Some
um,
people are like, look, I would rather be writing than getting a back massage or smelling flowers or getting some dinner, maybe going for
yeah,
a long romantic walk on a very short beach, you know.
yeah, or a sidewalk because you're not near a
Oh,
beach,
that's
but you
right. That's
wish you
right.
were.
You just
Hmm.
yeah, one of you throws water on the other person every once in a while, so it feels like they're being spritzed by the ocean.
Yeah. Well, we're supposedly getting snow tonight or tomorrow.
Wait,
Do you
really?
have
Where you are?
snow? Yeah, which is really weird.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you have
really weird.
snow?
We get snow as late as June.
That's annoying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the cold or the snow because I literally do not leave my house unless it's a doctor's appointment or the store. Other than that, like
Hmm.
I'm a recluse. But not that I wouldn't go out. It's just I have no reason to go out, you know? I work from home, I
Yeah.
write from home, you know,
Hmm.
I don't have to go pack out groceries.
Yeah.
However, I will say when I did work at a supermarket when I was a wee lad, uh they used to catch me sleeping in the aisles and they'll be like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I was taking a nap." And they're like, "But you're on the clock." And I go, "Yeah." And then they go, "You can get fired." And I go, "Yeah." And they're like, don't you want the job?" I go, "I don't no, I don't want any job." I'm 18. If this is my life, if this is the day that dictates my life, no, just kill me. Like, this is not the
Hey,
job I'm going to be at in 40 years. There's just no way. I cannot
no.
take this job seriously. This is a leap job. You know, this is where I
Mhm.
start and then one day I'll be at a job I want. If this is the job I want,
Yeah. My brother worked at a. Shut up. I'm hoping people don't. What? 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 My Norton's going off. What do you? I hope no one's hearing all the damn
no one's
dings.
hearing it.
Okay.
It only lets sounds that are designated on the StreamYard be heard.
Okay. I'm like, there were 5 dings in a row. I'm like, stop it. Okay. Anyway. Um. Yeah. No. My brother used to work at some grocery store, and then
Mhm.
his boyfriend at the time started, and then they both got fired.
'Cause they got
I'm
caught.
like, it's a grocery store. They're like, oh, no relations or spouses are allowed to work at the same time. I'm like, what?
That's
What?
ridiculous.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's a grocery store.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
It's not like
Whatever.
2 people in a relationship are gonna mess up the bread. I mean, they could. But, like, you don't want people to catch that, no
No.
matter who
I
you are.
mean, wait. Hello, William. I've had his oh hi for a long time. Sorry, we were just being
Oh,
random.
hi.
Oh, I hear my husband is cooking. I'm gonna
Nice.
probably the first sprint will be eating, but
That's good.
also working. Uh, I am going to embrace my ADD and my stress. And I have a passion project up, which is
Ooh.
historical fantasy, and it's connected, but not, it's related content. Or, yeah, I think it's related content, technically, from Amazon terms, not a second book, unless, Thomas, you think otherwise. Or else then I'll make it a second book, and it's going to be a very random duology. But uh, it's called The Witch's Heart, and it's going to be Sarah's great great grand. Did I do the great? Okay, wait. I hate these great wits, whatever. If okay, so Sarah has a daughter. The daughter is born, and then she goes somewhere. That's great grandmother, right?
So your grandmother's mother would be your great grandmother. Um. So
Wait.
listen, your mother
Uh.
has a mother,
Yeah.
okay, and that's your grandmother. But
Oh,
your grandmother's mother is your great grandmother.
I'm gonna have to think about this.
So
It's oh
my mother,
grand.
my
Yes,
mother, right? She has a mother, and I call her grandma,
grand. Oh.
right? But
Uh-huh.
my grandmother's mother is my
Uh,
great grandmother.
right. See, I only had a great grandmother on my dad's side, but I didn't know anyone great grandparents except her. So that confuses the shit out of me. Plus, she died when I was 9, so I have no connection there.
Are you
And I only
saying,
have
wait, are you saying your father's grandmother died or your grandmother, his mother, died?
no. Okay, so Gigi
Hmm.
was my grandfather's mom.
That would be a
That's
great
great grandmother.
grandmother.
Okay, yeah. And I don't. I had yeah, no connection whatsoever on my mom's side. I only had grandparents and one great grandmother on my dad's side. So this is just confusing to me. I don't have real world examples. But
So
I
you,
got, so she's grandmother. Grandmother. Got it.
the
Sarah
the
Thompson
grandmother,
would be the grandmother of Elizabeth.
correct? Yeah.
Wow, we are just going for it. That was a stupid moment.
You want to try a third cousin? See how
No,
that happens.
no, grandmother. Okay, and I'm thinking like 1660. No, that wouldn't work.
Oh, that's like 2 weeks ago.
No, yeah, that's a. I'm. Oh wait, no. I see. I'm so stressed out. I might just not include dates at all,
Oh,
and
that's
just
good.
write the first draft, and then just fix this whatever.
Well, that's one way to
Do
do it.
yeah, because I am already messing up dates and great grandmothers. And what are we doing here?
I know, right? Well, you could put
I
it on
don't know.
paper.
Fill in the actual details when you have the first draft and you're like, oh my god, I'm not as stressed with life right now.
Yeah.
It's been a stressful few months. My brain is like, bleh, bleh.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I write the zero draft, and while I do that, I go back and I organize the timeline to fit so I know when it's nighttime or daytime or how many years have passed or how many
Mm.
months. Technically, my book, from the beginning of the second act to the end, only goes over 4 days, but like the first act actually goes over like 9 years. So, but it's important to yeah, see, keeping the timeline straight is a hard part. Um, but I do have a question.
Yep.
So when you say passion project, are you saying this is a project that you're not interested in making it a successful sale journey? It's more like this is for you. This is something you just want to write, and whatever happens to it, great. Like you're not putting any like strategic thinking into it. You're just like, this is the book I want to write, and I don't care if it's to market. Is that why you call it a passion project?
Uh, yeah. And like to market is, I'm not doing any really any research other than the cover is going to be to market for historical fantasy,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
title and categories and 7 KDP keywords and like that, and the blurb.
The blurb.
But the story itself, I'm like, I don't care
Is this going
with
to be
this
your
one.
first
Like,
300,000 word book?
oh God, no. I'm like, I'm like, ooh, yay! Actually, it could be whatever length it is. I don't really
Yeah,
care.
you just write it.
I just have this need, this mighty need, as Invader Zim would say, to just do this however I please, because I don't know.
I like it.
I don't know.
I like it.
And
I like it.
therefore, I mean, if I change my mind, I mean, hello, rewrites.
Don't change your mind. Write for you first, and then market the book. Look, it wasn't my fault. I was nowhere near the pigs. Uh, no, always, I write time. Oh, somebody wrote a comment. Um, I write time travel fiction, so there are several different copies of the time. That's very interesting. But yes, they are correct. Write what you love. You got to write for you first, Nicole. You know,
Well,
that's the
yeah, but
secret to
there are things
success.
that you have to hit certain beats
Yeah, yeah. Each
for it to.
genre has a
I think,
style
yeah,
to it, but that
yeah, that's
doesn't
what
mean.
I
Yeah,
would say would mean. Well, when people say, "Oh, I don't write to market at all," and then they have like 6 different genres within one book, and there's just so much going on, and none of it really makes sense because you're just throwing so much into it, and
I
then you're
agree.
also, yeah, that's that. Yes, you are not writing to market. I don't know what you're writing, honestly.
Yeah,
That's why I don't know
you're
what
just
you're.
writing gibberish. I would add this much. I get that if you're writing a romance, obviously they have to end up together. Obviously, there has to
Yeah,
be a moment where there's tension that they might not end up together. I get that
right. Yeah.
because you need the
Hmm.
happily ever after in those, right? For those moving one way through time and those hopping back and forth, I have to keep track of who is where and when and which version of an event is in which book. I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
that's a lot.
Uh, so what I was saying is like I get that romance has to have the happily ever after and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But there is a difference between going, well, what works in a romance book versus what needs to be in a romance book. And I think if you write
Oh yeah,
what
yeah.
works in a romance book, you're not writing what you passionately want to write. You're writing to sell. And those careers don't end up happening because people aren't connecting to the voice of the writer. They're just like, it's just another book. But if you have the happily ever after, but you write the happily ever after you want to write, like the dream you had, like the where you're like, I really want to see this happen. There's a greater chance that that book is not only going to connect to a specific audience, but that audience is going to want to stick with you as you continue to write because they like your voice. They like the way you perceive the events. But if it's like all romance novels have the love triangle and it's one's a wolf and one's a vampire, so I got to make my book have that. Like now you're getting a little out,
Well, that's
you know.
well, there are expectations and beats, and then also like POV, like mystery has to,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
usually
yeah.
it's for, yeah. So people don't want to do that stuff, and then they'll, do like second person, uh,
You
LA
enter the room.
nor mystery with supernatural beast. I don't know, like
But you
that's what.
can break the rule though. Like for
Yeah,
example, let's say you did a book, a mystery book, and it's in first person because obviously anything that's noir or where you have to hear the character, like you, the reason thrillers and mysteries are in first person is because you have to hear the character thinking, like they're
yeah,
figuring it out, you know. But that doesn't mean you can't have a chapter or two that experiences the antagonist from third person because you're not in the protagonist's head anymore. You're getting to see the world through the antagonist, but not necessarily because it distances you on purpose. Now, obviously, if you did the whole book like that, it would be it would, as you would say. would not fit the genre. But you can break the rules like that once in a while. And that becomes your voice. That becomes something that people are like, oh, I liked. They threw me off with that for a second, but it wasn't too much where I was like, they turned me off. So
Mhm.
that's important to think of too.
Yeah, well, I was
Like,
yeah, I was actually reading, am still, Agatha Christie, Cards on
oh
the
yeah,
Table, which I don't know why I grabbed the one about bridge, because I don't know what the hell bridge is going on. I
many
don't.
teams.
But still, it's still good. Like, I don't know completely what's going on with the bridge parts, which is, it's not like that in depth. But then I'm like, yeah, I just want to know all the things. And also, it's like her 15th book, so like she's in the series of like 50.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a lot of books.
Good for her. But I thought it was interesting. It's in third person. What? Oh, I have to remember. I think all of her books are in third, but I also think that's because, well, at least the Hercule Poirot ones, because there's usually a lot of characters in there. Not just Poirot, but he's the main character. But
Mm.
now I think that kind of is the shift. Well, so I do urban fantasy mystery, so those are basically all first person. But it's, well, for urban fantasy and mystery, that is the POV, and it's also really fun for urban fantasy. That's why you do that, because you have it's like you're the main character, you have the magical sidekick, and you have magical powers, and it's a fun time. And then the mystery makes sense because you're figuring out the mystery. Um, but with A Witch's Heart, I'm just typing. I don't know anything. I have nothing. There's no research whatsoever. And let's just go with it. That's what I meant. um, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Though, I forget, was it Chris Fox? Some really well known indie writer that helps other indies. Or they could help trad publish too. But I really do believe in the, if you read enough of a genre, like more than 100 books, you at a certain point unconsciously know what needs to be in there
Yeah,
because you've done so much indirect research. So that's
but
probably what's going to happen.
be careful you don't become the genre. And what that means is when I used to work in the music industry, there were people that religiously learned other people's music. Like they're like, "Oh, I know every Black Sabbath." This is how old I am. I know every Black Sabbath album. I know, I know every, whatever Metallica song, right? And then you hear their original music, and it was always the same thing. They can play those covers better than the original bands at times. You'd be like, "Wow!" And
Mhm.
then their original songs not only didn't sound anything like that kind of music, but when they did do that kind of music, it was just Metallica. You know what I'm saying? Like it was as if Metallica wrote another song. And the thing that helped me in the entertainment industry is that I didn't learn songs. You know what I'm saying? I developed my own voice. I understood what was necessary to be a quote unquote heavy metal song, et cetera, et cetera. But I had a voice. And one of the things that really helped me stand out was people would always be like, as soon as you hear the first couple notes, you know it's a Thomas J. Beleza song. You know that he wrote that. And that's how novels should feel. Is like that first page, that opening, you should be like, I know this is a Nicole book or this is a Thomas book. And it shouldn't really be about like these are the genre specifics because that's the least important thing. They should be there. I'm not saying don't have them, but like that's the thing you shouldn't. I wouldn't focus on. Like if I'm writing a fantasy book, which I am, I don't necessarily focus on the fantasy elements. I focus on the emotional elements because I love writing emotion. I love writing characters. But the fantasy elements are there because, like you said, you read enough books, it's
Yeah.
inherent. You're like,
Mhm.
there's a dragon, there's knights, they're medieval times. Um, but one thing I get a lot back, especially because you know that I have alpha readers and stuff. They go, I loved the moment the troll showed up. I wanted you to keep going. I wanted to follow the troll and see their existence because and trolls are very common in fantasy, right? But my
Mhm.
troll, which is only on maybe 2 pages in the very beginning, was so completely different, right? Without me going into history, that they were just like all. In fact, there's a some people are on like chapter 30, and they're like, "Are we ever gonna hear about the trolls again?" And I was like, yes and no, but they're not like a main part of the story. But that's what I mean. Like, you need fantastical creatures in fantasy, but that doesn't mean they have to be fantastical characters. I mean, creatures like we know. Like,
Mhm.
even
Well,
my
yeah. Uh-huh.
dragons are different, and that becomes your voice. Like, oh, um, and basically, I'll stop after this, but I write with this rule in mind: monsters are animals, not creatures. So what that means is like a troll to me is not a monster because it's not an animal. It's not like a bear. It's not a tiger or a wolf. So I look at any monster as a culture. So even dragons are not animals to me. I consider them cultured. So they have existence. They have a culture to them. And that rule helps me make creatures different in my world. And that's just what I'm kind of saying is like, even if you do urban fiction or urban fantasy, I mean, like you need, like you said, you need a sidekick, right? It has to be like a mystical fantasy sidekick. But
Mhm.
like how you approach that and say, well, what I know they have to have one, but what is always shown, and then just go, I'm just going to create a whole different thing. And then that becomes such a strong element to the writing process, especially for anyone within that genre. And people go, I know this is supposed to be there. This element is there, but it's so different. It's familiar, like a troll is familiar in fantasy,
Mhm.
but it's so different, you know? And I think that helps writers stand out too, as they just go another step over. I'm sorry, I took up too much time.
Well, that's basically what I do. You just have the genre expectations, which you could say is um, writing to market, and then you do your own thing. Like if you like, regardless, urban fantasy, it's usually female main character. They can have
Mhm.
guys though now. Some type of magical power. Got to have a sidekick, and they have to be solving a problem. That's what urban fantasy is. But
Yeah.
if you follow all that, and then you do whatever you want with within those slots, you can still be very original. Which I think my Obsidian Murders is original. Thank you
Listen, as soon as I read Thomas Bloodsworth, I was in. I was in.
very much. Yeah, yeah. Wearing that sunscreen.
What do
Yes,
we
but
got? What do we got?
I was reading Agatha Christie, and I was like, I'm not saying that I write like Agatha Christie. Okay, don't at me in the comments. But I was saying there's the similar moving the plot type of thing instead of going on like huge descriptions of like the house or
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
don't even know. Like you're going it's the cards on the table is not even 250 pages, and I'm halfway. I'm like, damn, she is stretching this a bit. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you could not put I would be pissed if she put in like descriptions of just whatever as you would do other genres. Like
Oh, I see. I see.
fantasy makes sense, but no, I've had people like, so there's not enough description of things. I'm like, why do you need that? I don't. But then it was also like, oh, there's too much.
Yeah.
Like, are you an urban fantasy mystery reader? No. Okay, so there's the problem. Here we go.
A good rule of thumb for any genre is let the description be narratively important, and then it's not too much. It's when the narrative stops just to explain like the wall never even comes into play, but like the detail on the
Mhm.
wall and what kind of paintings. Like, why do I need to know what kind of? Why don't we just generalize the paintings? But also you got to look at Agatha Christie in a different light because of how many books she has, and
Oh yeah.
her style has changed over the years, right? But
Mhm.
B, when she started, books were written differently. Again, we've talked about this with Tolkien. Tolkien today
Yep.
would have gotten a lot of notes, which is crazy to
Mhm.
think because he invented the genre. But nowadays, you can't write like he did with that kind of like people don't have time for that. People like the nostalgia of it and they love Tolkien. But imagine
Mhm.
someone came out that wrote identical to Tolkien. They'd be like, this is a lot. There's a lot of history dumping in the prologue. Like, there's a history and then a prologue and then a prologue's prologue, you know, and but I love that rule. That was something that was bestowed upon me is just allow everything to move the narrative forward, and that's enough. If you stop the narrative, you might get away with a little bit, but if this narrative stops, it's too much. And I think I've said that about your book, like the mystery books. Like, you give just enough. Like, you're like, let's just keep
Mhm.
the story moves. You explain enough to let the room not be a white room. You explain enough for us to understand the characters. Um, you know,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think. Well, it also depends on the reader.
Chapter two, chapter one, chapter minus two, chapter minus one, chapter zero.
That's a old fantasy. That's right there. That's fantasy books.
I love your prologue, but it's a little confusing. Could you maybe do two chapters before the prologue? No, no, I cannot.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think, yeah, it depends also on the reader, of course, and
Oh
what
yeah,
they
yeah,
read. Because I had a DNF Black Leopard Red Wolf because it's
yeah.
that. Like, I could not finish it, but then it's literary African epic fantasy. Literary. You're writing in a literary fiction style for epic fantasy, and I'm
Yes.
like, I could not. But then everyone else in the book club that I was reading it with, who reads literary and epic fiction or epic fantasy, they were like, they gave it 5 stars. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah.
But I don't read. I have maybe 2 literary fiction books on my shelf. Okay. And then maybe I don't know how many epic fantasy, but not that much. So I read it differently, and I could not do it. So I DNF'd it. I didn't rate it. They rated it 5 perfect stars, right? And they're just
That's
they
crazy.
love it. Yeah, they are obsessed. So it's totally also depends on what you read. It's like some people were like, this is boring. But uh for, well, like any of my books, or let's just say the urban fantasy, because I'm writing it. Other people that read urban fantasy and or mystery, but like they're together, so please do read that. Then they're like, this is great because it makes sense.
I
But if
like eight
someone,
pages of description.
yeah, that's why I can't read Anne Rice. Do I need 5 pages of a door? I do not.
His hand moved over the molding as its age sourced through him. It's the red monogamy, whatever.
I don't forget it.
You're like, come
Yeah, you
on.
can't even come up with stuff. I can't do it. No, but then my husband, weirdly, I don't know why, loves Anne Rice. I'm like, you have the patience for that? He's like, I don't know how, but I do. But then I don't. It could also just be depends on the writer. No, okay, he likes Bernard Cornwell, and I think that he does that a little bit too. I
But
tried Bernard's books and I can't. I can't do it.
I think
Ugh.
with Anne Rice, though, again, she comes. Obviously, she hasn't written another book because of her situation, but uh,
Yeah.
like I like Anne Rice, but compared to today, again, her books would get a lot of notes because the style back then is we I have a client that I work with and I tell her all the time, I go, look, I know you want to write your book. She loves Tolkien, and to go back to, she
Mhm.
writes like him.
Mhm.
She just writes like a character show up and be like, Nicole enters the room, and then there's like a history jump. It's like,
Mhm.
oh yes, Nicole stands there and she walks in with the air of her family's dark history on her back, and in her eyes, she wondered about her mother, who she had lost 3 decades ago. And you're just like, what are you doing here? And they're like, oh, I like learning about the character, so I'm invested. Put that knowledge into the narrative. Let people discover that truth, and it'll be
Yeah.
more interesting. And I go, writing then is a lot different now because we learn and we evolve, and so do the readers. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Like, obviously, when you watch a movie, sometimes
Yeah.
there's no depth because they're just trying to get through 2.5 hours and people just want to eat their
Mhm.
popcorn. So I don't watch Transformers with a critiqued eye. Like, I'm just like, it's transforming robots from outer space. I'm in. Like, I don't care what makes sense. I don't care about plot holes. But if I'm watching something like Shawshank Redemption, I love the
Mhm.
depth of it. You know what I'm saying? And that movie was overlooked until it came out on VHS, and it was like everyone was like, "Why did we miss this in the theaters?" And I think that's the same with books. You can't really write a book. You can't write Frankenstein today.
Yeah.
It would have to be different. Just the style of writing would be different because of the audience. And not that I agree that you should write for your audience. You should always write for yourself first. But what I'm saying is, like you said, I don't have time to read 8 pages on a door. I
Yeah.
don't, right? But you do have time to read that book and learn about that door over the course of the novel. That's a different
Mhm.
experience,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, should we do we're 30 minutes in? Should we do should we actually do the sprint?
Oops. Well, let's okay. Get through question. I mean, not questions. Genre bender books. Yeah, I can. Well, so I think I can handle 3 genres in one book, and if you're at past three, I don't. I can't. We're going 4 genres and more. Maybe separate. Like you have a lot of ideas, right? But
Wait,
like
Nicole.
mine is urban fantasy mystery. It works. But if it's like 5 genres in one book, no, I cannot.
Wait, you don't want to
I will
read
be in
a
a fight.
dark romantic fantasy, dark romantic portal fantasy set in a mystery of historical inaccuracy, based on a memoir?
Yeah, see, that's where we will draw the line. I'm going to draw the line there.
What's this thing? You want me to read this? Me as
Yeah,
right,
you read it.
me at me as writer, standing over a character with a blood knife or am I reading that right? Stranding,
Stranding. I think it's
stranding.
straddling.
Oh, straddling them on a planet
Maybe.
about to be harvested and saying, "This was not the love interest you were looking for." Ooh, these are not the droids you are looking for. Hello there.
Hi.
Hiya.
Hit the like button with the color. Switch. Yeah, that color. What is it? It
I
turns
don't think
blue
we
or
can use
something.
that word. Are we allowed to use that word nowadays?
Color with a U. Oh, because he's Andy is
A British.
English. Yes. Mm.
He's a Brit.
Uh,
Ow. What's this one?
yeah. There are books that flip between third and first person chapters. I wouldn't do that because I want uniformity in my writing. I've seen that before. I'm like, oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, flipping back and forth every other chapter is crazy. But again, the breaking of the rules is like maybe one chapter here or maybe maybe one character is always in first person and another character's in third person. Like you can play around with that, but I think if you don't become consistent with a character, that gets really disorienting, and as does every other chapter. Like that would be crazy.
Oh yeah. I'm a I'm a discovery writer other than when I'm doing the little mystery.
I discovered you right. What do you say? Oh, love that your trolls are unique. Yeah, yeah, they have a whole culture to them. Let's see what he says here. I have Queen Dragon scale armor that then later the scales are crushed and turned into resin and printed into biometric armor. FYI, for your information, no dragons are harmed. The scales are gathered from abandoned nests. That's pretty cool. That's nice. That has a nice world history to it. I
Yeah,
can't
I
read
can't
Jane
sit.
Austen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually go blind every time I open up her books. I don't know what happens. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know what
can't
happens.
really I can't do a lot of classics, so I like a simple, kind of to the point. Um, but then again, like I have been told I can describe things very well,
Mm.
especially nature. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can describe
You're like,
nature
these
well.
trees smell like molting lava through the furnace of air.
I I don't know about that. I don't think they would exist, but we're gonna we're gonna end on that
Fantasy. Oh, we're gonna
for
start. We're gonna
that
start.
image. Yeah,
All
that's a
right.
great image. Don't copy that. I not just for copyright reasons because it does not make sense
I'll
for
copyright
your
your
world
image.
building.
All right.
We're doing 20 minutes.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You ready?
Oh yeah, here we go.
And go. Woohoo! Welcome back.
Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is something.
The little noise at the end. The little. That was cute.
Oh, did you hear it? I didn't hear it.
I heard it.
Oh,
I heard it. Did you hear it?
no.
Oh,
It
you know
might
why?
be
I know why.
something.
No, I know why. I'm gonna stop the screen and then I'm gonna reshare it because I have to hit a
Mhm.
button. I have to hit a button.
Oh,
Let's do this.
yeah, it's lovely chimes. It's a very good vibe for the nature theme. And Shannon created that timer for me on her channel, SD Hudson. I think basically everyone knows Shannon, but if not, check out her channel. And she also uploaded how to create timers.
I think that works. Let me see. I'm gonna go to the end and you tell me if you hear it.
Got it.
Okay, ready? Oh, wait.
Yeah, I hear it now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Lovely
Excellent.
chimes. You get in such a calming vibe. It's better than like a horn at the end. All
right.
That would be a little jarring. Well, I ate dinner and I'm feeling a bit better. And then I don't know what happened there, but like I must have opened Amazon to look at my recent orders, but then I
Yeah.
came back with dinner and I had no idea that I opened it. So that's where I'm at mentally. And then
You didn't write?
like I wrote like 150 words and then yeah. And then I got a direct message.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just share it, not share it. Just so people don't think that Thomas was trying to get at me about not writing to market. But
Oh.
it was someone saying, "Oh, you can do whatever you want." I'm like, no, it's okay. Okay, what like behind the scenes stuff, Thomas and I talk like basically every day. So there's some gaps that
Oh.
like I know what he's talking about and he knows where I'm at.
Yeah.
But then we just like decide to talk about whatever, right? And I
One
don't,
one
yeah,
hundred
I
percent.
think, yeah. So Thomas is being supportive, and I don't think he's crapping on anyone, and he wasn't
Oh
crapping
yeah.
on me. Yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, he was being nice, and I think also the problem when people say right to market is that they don't know what that means, or there's multiple versions of right to market. What I'm and probably what I'm just going with me. What I mean is that there are genre expectations, and then you like do the basics, and then you do what you want
Yeah.
with those. Like urban fantasy, female character with magical powers and a main magical sidekick, and they're solving problems.
Yeah.
But you could do a lot. You do a lot with that,
Mm-hmm.
like endless possibilities with those basic expectations. And then like a mystery, you need a mystery.
A mystery. Do you need the mystery van?
Yeah, you
You
do. You do.
need the mystery?
So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying right to market. Like you're hitting the expectations. You're not like, oh yes, I am writing a female protagonist, but she has no magic and she's just talking about herself. What is this? I don't know, but I'm going to call it urban fantasy. That's not what. Yeah.
Yeah, because
We're gonna talk
yeah,
about.
I believe the rule if we were writing to market, like you're saying, you read the books and then you kind of find out what are the elements in those books. I will make sure those elements are there. But sometimes people write to market by just writing the elements and not necessarily adding their voice. And
Yeah.
to be
Mm-hmm.
clear, you writing to market is not a bad thing, and not having a writer's voice is also not a bad thing. Uh, when I talk, I'm just talking about an option. It's like if I talk about
Yeah.
outlining passionately, which I would because I love outlining, nowhere in my noggin am I saying this is the way, like, uh, but because Nicole's like she said, I like to discover. I like discovering while I'm outlining. The outlining is where I'm like, what do I want the novel to be? And then when I'm doing my zero draft, I'm discovering alternatives and stuff like. So whenever I say anything, including a rule of thumb or
Mhm.
like I'm a developmental editor, so there's things I would suggest, but that isn't the be all end all, and that would be horrible for anyone to be like it's my way or the highway, because then you can't. All I'm saying is conversation and discussion is very valid,
Yeah.
especially when they are counterpoints to positions, because then you can learn and assimilate where and when you want, and you know
Yeah. They were trying to stick up for me. I appreciate you. I'm going to keep you anonymous. It's okay. But
because
just
they love
because
you.
I've never, yeah. Well, I've never had that before. So I just wanted to put that out there if anyone else was thinking, or like a replay.
Oh,
Thomas is fine. It's okay. And, doing which one is fine. We're just chit chatting, you know.
yeah, we're
Yeah, yeah,
shit
yeah,
we're shit chatting.
yeah.
We're shit chatting.
BSing. Lots of stuff going on here. I don't even know. Um,
Listen, do you want to
yo,
read the first four lines to your chapter opener?
the first four lines. One, two, three. That's funny because I just wrote them. I don't know if that makes sense,
That's
but
fine. That's fine. Are they spoiler
okay.
free? As long as they're spoiler free, we're good.
Well, I will go back into. Wait, let's see. Okay. Okay, wait. This is actually chapter 7, the end. This is Midnight Murders. I was gonna try and say it, the other title. It's not. This is
Midnight
where I'm at.
murders.
We're gonna meet me where I am, which is a hot mess. Okay, starting at the end of chapter 7. Jeez. Okay. I'll call to explain the situation, I said, jumping in before Bloodsworth could reply. She'll have to find a cat sitter, and with 3 kittens that needed to be fed hourly, that might be a tough sell. And then
Okay.
in the beginning of chapter 8, babysitting 3 new kittens wasn't that hard of a sell for Althea's fellow Wiccan, Thomas. I'd forgotten he was a cat lover until Althea texted me
Oh,
that he was thrilled and already in the car before she could finish her sentence.
I like
Who
it.
would look after her house fairy Fern was another matter altogether tickling the back of my mind because Thomas can't see house fairies or any fairy.
It's because
And
he's a vampire.
Fern, no, that's a different one.
Oh, it's a different Thomas.
Yeah, that's a joke. That's the end though of Thomas's.
Is
That
that
was a joke.
is that me? It's my rant.
Yeah, you could be that the other uh, Thomas Wiccan.
Listen,
You know,
whatever. I could do it this weekend, or I could
you
do
can
it
do
next
both.
weekend.
Yes, yes.
I can do it this weekend. Weekend. Okay.
Oh, I want to bake a cake. Yes,
Bake
to
a cake.
and listening to beta reading draft. Yeah.
Instead of shit simulated combat holographic instructional tech, we, we're having a shit simulated writing help and instructional talk. That's right.
Yes,
That's fine.
I like the second version.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I could deal with that.
Yeah, yeah. Thomas wishes he could see fairies, but when or probably a lot of Wiccans want to see the other beings, but they don't have that ability. Tessa can. That's the whole point. That's her magical ability.
Wait a minute. I grew up in Brooklyn. I saw fairies everywhere.
I try to hold back. Yes, those lines,
Those are good.
poorly read. Thank you.
Poorly.
I am not a actress, and I don't know. I feel like my voice is giving out. Is it?
Listen, no, no, it
I
sounds
don't
great.
know.
You have that. You have that Nicole timbre. You know.
It could be the new headphones. I don't. It it's like muffled. I don't. Ignore me.
Does
Ignore
it sound
me.
like you're underwater? Like.
Yeah, a little. Well, I don't know. It's a little bit weird,
I
but
don't know.
they were
Try
built
throwing them against the wall. See if they work. No.
in.
um.
You win.
Would you like me to read my Thomas wins
Yeah,
the
no, I
pizza
wanted to show
salad?
that. Yes.
That's
Yeah, now you can't. So you laugh even more. And then
there
to
you
go
go.
on.
I make people laugh. That's my job. That's my job. Oh, what I was going to say is, would you like to hear my first 4 lines?
Yeah, I posted uh words, so you're tickled, and then you can go in laughing. Even if it's really serious and you're killing a bunch of people, we want you to laugh.
I promise you, there's no death in the first 4 lines.
Oh, bummer.
There is death, but not in the first one. All right,
Oh,
you want me to do it in my reader's voice?
oh, yeah. Or like a British accent. Can you do British? No, maybe don't. Embarrass yourself.
You don't want me to do British? I won't do British.
It's very posh.
Very posh. I could do Cockney.
Oh no. We could understand what was that.
It's Cockney. Yeah, just consider me. I could do Old English with
Oh, we can't hear you. Uh oh, you froze. Oh no.
You can't hear me? I'm here. I'm right here.
Oh.
Am I here?
Oh, now you're good.
What's going on? I can't be like two households, both alike in dignity, and fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge to new mutiny. Wait, oh, sorry. No one likes
I used to
Shakespeare?
have that memorized in middle school. Okay, you gotta share your lines. Or
All
did
right.
you do that and you broke up?
Sorry. No, I didn't. I didn't share anything. I didn't share anything.
Okay.
I just shared a terrible, terrible accent.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Jessian galloped with long, powerful strides, devouring the familiar road. I gotta start that over because clearly I have an accent.
Well, I said I messed up the R too and like matter. I said matter.
Matta. Well, I
Matter.
try to avoid ER words because I say water and
That yeah.
devouring. All right.
Yeah.
Marriage. Marriage is what brings us together
Together.
today.
Yeah.
All right, here goes. Here goes. Gestian galloped with long, powerful strides, devouring the familiar road at a feverish pace. Devious clung to the reins, feeling the horse's strength shiver up his arms and down his back. He ignored the forest as it whisked by in a blur of chaos.
Boom.
Boom. That's
Boom,
that's a
baby.
0 draft though, so I still got to work on it.
You don't count. Oh wait. No. Do you think your outline is the 0 draft, or you're saying because like this is my first draft where I'm like writing it? What do you count as drafts?
That's a really good question. Uh, I, as I know it, and again, this is just my words, but it is not the be all end all of life. The 0 draft is technically uh, the version where you get it all out. So you're not trying to make fancy writing. Um, I write like that in the zero draft, so I understand the texture of it. Like what is the style I'm looking for, and what kind of emotions am I trying to invoke. And then when I do the first draft, what I do is I'll basically what I just read to you is a bullet point. I write in bullet points for the zero draft. There's bullet points,
Mm,
and there's like the first bullet point, and then within that beat of the story, there'll be an indented bullet point, and then if I have like a something that continues that thread, it'll be another indent, or it'll just be, you know what I'm saying. Um,
uh,
so then when I write my first draft, what I do is I look at the first bullet point, and then I'll write to that bullet point, and then I'll write in that bullet point, and then I'll write out of the bullet point going to the next one. And so I use the zero draft as like like what is the mood, the elements, and the emotion of what I'm trying to infer, and then that lets me explore it because now I don't have to think about it. I like when I read that, I know exactly what that is. They're running,
mhm,
he has purpose. Like even the next line, he's like, clear in his firm mind, the city of Silation called to him. His desire to reach it took over all his concerns. The thunder of bare hooves pounded in a rhythmic pulse with Devious's purpose. You know, like
mhm,
that to me paints the entire scene. So when I go back, I can kind of build on that. So that's why this is a zero draft, because it's sort of just me getting out the ideas and the feel of it, but I'm not focus writing where I'm like, what words do I want to use? Like, I don't really sit here for like an hour and go, Jessian galloped with long, hmm, powerful strides. Like, this is just me writing free verse. I'm just getting it
yeah.
out. Uh, you know, but again, I like how I stumbled when I read it to you, where I was like, Jesse and Gallop with long, powerful strides, devouring like I can't say devouring the familiar. Like I might rethink that in a sentence because if I'm stumbling over it, someone else might stumble over it. And when you're writing, you want to make sure that for me, you you want to make sure it's smooth. Uh, anyway,
For you
yeah, yeah,
and
for
maybe
me.
me, but
Uh,
like not 5 other people, but
yeah, yeah.
maybe for 10.
Maybe for 10. Maybe the 6 people. Listen,
Yeah.
fairies wear boots, and you gotta believe me. All right? Fairies wear boots, and you gotta believe me.
Gorgeous.
uh,
Oh. We're
1 second.
having a moment. Uh, we're just sitting here just trying to get our lives together.
Yeah,
I
you
just like I
gotta.
had a swig of water and it went down the wrong way. It's okay. Yeah.
Um. Oh, by the way, is that what you think a zero draft is? Do you all? Thomas could make the fairies wear bells around the house. Ring, 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 ring. Do you look at a zero draft that way?
No, I don't even do zero draft. I just do first draft is uh, the bare bones method
Oh, I
of
see.
what's needed. Then I add in stuff and
Yeah.
change, words and all that.
On
Um,
paper, that might technically be considered a zero draft because you're not putting um, thematic purpose into it. You're putting foundational purpose into it. Like you're writing the plot, right? That's what you're saying. You're just writing the plot out. Like whatever comes in your mind, it's gonna go here.
yeah, but then I also write pretty clean. Like I'm not spending months and months fixing or adding stuff.
Well, yeah, but what,
So
what I'm
it's
saying is,
something.
you're like the zero draft would be getting it out,
Mm.
and the moment once you start going back to work it, that's the first, like you're writing the first draft or more importantly, you said you discover right, like while you're writing you're working out the story too, right? And
Uh, Not with the mystery though. like I know who done it and where and why and how.
Mhm.
So I outlined that and some like and I automatically know a lot of scene scenes and stuff. But then there are some things where I pants or discover.
Do you
Do
have a
I prefer
short?
pants or discover? I don't know.
Are you a pantser or a dresser? No.
Yeah.
Well, discover pantsing is writing off the cuff, but discovery writing is figuring out the story. That's when you start working on it, and you start
Okay.
like if you know where it's going, you could pants that. But if you don't know where it's going and you're like, where could it go? That's more of a discovery writer. Like if you're like, I need this person to meet this person, that's a loose outline, but you'll
Yeah.
pants to it. You'll be like, well, I'm just going to write how it
Hmm.
happens. But if you're like writing and you're like, well, where does this go? They have to meet each other, but where does it go? And then like you're like, oh, I kind of like where that's moving. That becomes more of a discovery. Uh,
Oh, I guess I do all three.
See, there you go. There you go. Well, yeah, because I outline in thoughts, like a sentence or like a paragraph. I'll be like, what is
Uh,
the purpose? And then I take that and I'll zero draft it. I'll just go, and through the zero draft, I'll discover things where I'm like, maybe I should break this up into two chapters, or oh, I kind of like how this character's coming alive on the page. I didn't think of them this way, but they feel good like that. And that'll alter a
mhm.
few things. But the outline ultimately, the dragon must be slayed, has to happen kind of mentality. But
Yeah.
how they get there, I'm okay with changing if possible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I use the writing the tree method and the leaves phase is technically the zero draft part because it is a bunch of scenes, but they have no particular order. What's the writing tree method? Thomas. You know everything. No.
You
Oh wait.
must tell me all things. Well, as far as I know,
Yeah. I've
uh,
heard it before. I don't.
yeah, I say this with an open mind, and this is not the be all end all, but this is usually the most. So it's basically what I was saying, where you create a topic sentence. So remember, I said my outline is like I'll write like a sentence or a paragraph,
Mhm.
right? So the sentence is basically like, for example, this ain't a story I'm working on, but it could be like Chris meets Chris meets Nicole at a deli for the first time, and then you might write 3 to 5 key reasons that support sort of like that idea or that topic, and then you kind of want to explain what's going on. So, why are they meeting? What is the purpose of the meeting? Do they know that they're supposed to be meeting, or is it just coincidental? So you might do that, and
Mm.
then you start kind of building on that, which is the pre-writing stage. You start thinking about, what's the main topic, what's the kind of themes I want to play with based on these very general statements. Um, and then, as per the tree, you branch off.
Oh, oh, it's from then from a while ago. Okay, maybe because there are people coming up with new stuff all the time. Like I don't
Yeah. I personally use the 27 chapter outline that I turned into the 27 plot point outline to make it a little bit more you could play with it.
know.
Uh, so I hit very specific beats within my story, and then from there, how I outline. My process is a little. I mean, I keep I keep ridiculous notes, uh, but I don't. The one thing I don't do, and again, this is just my method. Uh, I don't um, do massive world building beforehand. I do
Mm-hmm.
general world building, and then I mold the world as long as I agree with the molding of the world through the narrative. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
beholden to not that I did this, but like elves are stationed in this area, nowhere else. Well, in the story, maybe it comes up I want to put an elf, right? So then I go, well, how do I turn that into historical world building? And based on the
Mhm.
narrative, I'll inform myself and take notes on that, and therefore I'm building my world. Uh, because I know a lot of writers that sort of get stuck in I got to work on the systems and the cultures
Mhm.
and how many races, and you're like, well,
Yeah.
what species are in this story? Focus on them. Like you don't have like, oh well,
Yeah.
I have nymphs. Uh, uh, well, in your world, yeah. Are they in the story? No. Well, then we don't need to know about them.
Yeah.
Like they're not like your story is not going to fail if you don't set up 1,000 years of history for the nymphs. But I'll give you an example of so all Hamarans in my world, which are basically humans, but I call them Hamarans because they're from a
Mhm.
different planet. Um, all Hamarans have a lineage to to a tribe. So
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if they live in a city or if they're 10 or 15 generations off. You can trace their bloodline back to a tribe, right? But
Mhm.
I didn't work out all the tribes.
Yeah.
However, in the narrative, as I was writing it, now I have the freedom knowing that I can make that interesting by creating a tribe for that specific personality of a character, or maybe they're 5 generations off and they could be talking about, like, I don't know, I think my great 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 grandfather was a part of the
Mhm.
blah 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 tribe. And I could just make that up now because I have the rule all Hamarians are connected to a tribe, but I didn't work out every single tribe, all their lineage, you know?
Mhm.
And I did that with the main character too. I expanded on his tribe heritage lineage, but I didn't sit down for three years and be like, well, who's everybody in there? Like I allowed the
Mhm.
narrative to kind of build that.
Yeah.
For me.
I just write. I need to. I'm really like drained, so I'm reading fiction for fun, so I can de-stress. But I should really, at a certain point sooner rather than later, read "Dear Writer, Are You Intuitive?" because I own it by Becca Syme, and I think I'll hopefully discover a lot because basically it's the oh when someone asks you a question about writing and your reply is I don't know, I just write. That's me.
Yeah.
I need to know about me. that and like how do I work with that because yeah, I
But
don't
you
know.
you don't just write though. The way you talk about your ideas and like,
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
guess when people ask specific question, I guess it depends on the question. Then I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, I just wrote it.
yeah, I just read. But you've said a lot of great things in conversations together. Like, for example, the moment you started talking about discovery writing, well, that's your process. You discover it. Yeah, but I sort of kind of also outline. I know what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah,
like
so
you
I
do
just
have a
write.
process.
Well, yeah. I do lots of things. Maybe
Yeah.
that is where I'm like,
Well,
um,
when you're taking a dump,
yeah,
don't you think about your story and go, what can I do with this? Or do you not think about the story ever until you're sitting in front of a computer and then you're like, you don't, nothing comes into your head and you just write until until it happens. No, you think, you
yeah,
have a
I think,
process.
yeah.
You're like, how do you know I dump?
I think about many things when that's happening.
Like, why
Thank you
is this
very
so
much.
big? Look at the size of this thing.
No, that's just you. That's you and your
Look at what
problems.
came out of me.
Is that popcorn?
This is caramel popcorn clusters.
Oh.
It's basically gourmet. It says it's
Okay, gourmet fancy pants.
might I also add it's store brand.
Oh yeah, no. Store. What a knockoff. Knockoff fancy pants. I don't know.
They call me Mr. Knockoff Fancy Pants. Yum. Snackies.
Snackies.
That's what I say when I poop.
That's nasty.
Snackies.
You're gonna make
Jinkies.
people throw up. It's your fault if people leave. If we get to zero, it's because you're talking
What are
about
we at? I
that
can't see the number.
stuff.
It doesn't show me. What's it say? What's the number of viewers?
Uh, two at the moment.
How'd we get so high?
And I don't even know.
We're a repeat view, okay?
Yeah. No, we're the. I'll look at it. Oh yeah, it's three. Okay, look. It's because you said the number two, and people like I'm done. This isn't a writing sprint. This is chaos.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my channel in a nutshell. Anyway.
If they say number one, it's okay, but number two,
Yeah.
people are also experiencing Valentine's Day today, so they might just be like, "Do I watch these two people, or do I have do I
Oh yeah, it's
do I go
Valentine's Day.
oh?"
I keep forgetting it's Valentine's Day.
I don't know.
Well, my flowers that my husband got me arrived yesterday.
Were they white or
They didn't
pink?
do that right.
Wait,
They
you
didn't
like
do it right.
yellows? You like yellow
No, I
flowers?
don't.
What do you like?
No.
Oh.
Blue.
Blue? Do they have blue roses?
Yeah. Well, I got he got roses and lilies.
Lilies are your favorite.
Well, roses, lilies, lavender, lilac, and there's this. Dahlias are cool too.
Ooh, Dahlia. Black murder. What is it? Black Dahlia murders.
Yeah, the black dahlia. Ooh, yeah, that's messed up.
I like roses, but I also like Christine's. If she's a nice girl.
No, you should have said lilies, because if you said rose and lilies, then that could be a name.
That's
Oh
a
no,
pun.
that's names. Those are names.
Well, that was the twist was Christine. Like, oh, I love roses, but I
The
also
Crazy
like
Carlos.
Christine's if she's a nice girl. Like that's the twist.
Okay.
I broke the motif.
Well, it would have made more sense if you did the roses and lilies, but we'll just move on.
I can't make sense. I'm not a bank or a mint. I'm not a mint. Let me start that over. I don't make sense. I can't make sense. I'm not a mint.
Wait, cent. A mint is a cent. Isn't this what we're going?
Well, a cent like to make money. So a mint makes coins.
Oh, the bank one makes more sense.
Well, the bank distributes coins, whereas the mint makes the coin. Look at that. Be
read that out loud.
Of the violets, they tend to become violent.
Oh yes, that's a good one.
I'm gonna put that one on the back burner and maybe laugh at that a little bit later once it hits. No, I'll be sleeping, wake up. What?
Yep.
For me.
Yeah, no, for you. Yeah.
For me. Others may laugh at their
3 people. Yeah.
Everyone's gone.
But not for 5 people. Yeah, no.
I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to. Listen,
well, we should do another sprint.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Are you going to write this time or are you going to go eat?
I will try to write.
All right.
No,
I'm
this
expecting
is
10 words, okay?
Yeah, no. Well, like I said, I'm not going to do the pre-order thing again if I haven't written something. Or like at least halfway, obviously.
Okay.
But I do have that option to cancel, and but as I was saying, I don't remember, let's just say a few days ago, where I'm keeping up the pre-order for Midnight Murders, and like where I'm at in the summer, I think will determine if I keep it or not. There's just too much going on.
Well, if you cancel it, then everyone gets their money back, right? Like it's not like
Yeah, but then you lose your pre-order right from Amazon for a year. But then, since I'm part of Brian Cohen's ad school, they can help most likely get it back.
oh, I
But
see.
then I'm like, oh wow, okay. So like the worst thing is if I cancel it and they can't seem to get it back for whatever reason, then it's 1 year without a pre-order. And then I would just announce that it's coming in 5 days, and then I release it on day 5. Like whatever. And it's also a third book in a 6-book series. So and people usually wait until at least book 3 is out to read 1, 2, and 3, and then they're waiting for the other books. That's like kind of reader vibes now because they've been burned a lot where it's like, oh, here's the first book and it's in a series. Oh, it didn't happen
Yeah. Where
for
was
like multiple reasons.
are you going to do
Yeah.
a 3-book box set, and then when the next 3 books come out and all 6 of them exist, you'll do a 6-book box set?
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that,
You should.
but the idea is when you see it taper off of interest, then you do box sets because
Oh,
box
I
sets are
see.
a different audience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Resurges the that's
Hmm.
why people do the best of albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
They go where sales are going down. Let's do a best of. I was
Yeah,
going to
that's
set up
basically it.
pre-orders for my next 5 books in Relic of Time Wars series, but then I decided I did not want to take that chance, so I set the pre-orders to go live in the first of the month. Very interesting. Oh, you got more.
Oh yeah.
Also offering sales of the previous books in the weeks before the book goes live. Then I lure them back in. Very interesting.
I was yeah, I mean, that other idea of doing like a 99 cent or free, though I don't want to do free. Let's go with 99 cent deal on Obsidian Murders, and then the third book comes out whenever, or it's already out. That's a thing that indies do. But then I'm like, also, I I'm tired. I'm tired.
with Kindle Unlimited? Don't you get paid per page or something?
Yeah, I'm hoping to see that there is like an uptick in reads when there's 3 books out, because then they'll be like, okay, there's 3 books out. We know that she is into the book series. She's not going to give up, and I'm not. But new readers don't know that. Um,
Have you thought about after the 3rd book to write just the other 3 books and then just release them in a period, but they're all done? It'll be like, here's the 4th book, and then like 2 months later, here's the 5th book, and 7 years later, here's the 6th book.
well, that's a rapid release, and that is a different way of publishing, and I do not write that fast. Rapid release is a type of launch versus, oh, I have all these books written, I'm just going to put them out fast and not do like a whole
Whole thing.
complicated thing. I think rapid release is complicated. I also cannot write that fast. Rapid release is good with like people that can write or at least dictate. I cannot dictate. I have too many speech impediments. So you know what? I can't do rapid release. Love it for people that can. But you're doing like rapid releases. Oh, like that's like a book every couple months. There are some
Yeah.
writers that dictate and like their speech is fantastic and they do like little to no editing on their dictation. They can do a book a month. I'm like, yeah, that's never gonna effing happen.
Yeah.
It's not. I know my limit.
For you.
Yeah, for me, it's not gonna
For
happen.
you. You're not
Yeah.
telling other people not to.
Yeah. I mean, Unless you do great dictation and you are extremely organized, I don't know if I would recommend a book a month. Actually, also for burnout, I don't think you should be doing that. But have fun if you
I
want
get it.
to.
My books are too long for me to do more than
Yeah,
one. A year.
yeah. Oh yes, readathons. There's a um, Zoe Bub is a huge thing, but that's just for romance writers, and that has to be free, and you have to be invited. They're doing more of that, and I hope there's an urban fantasy one coming up. I'm just saying. Okay, yeah, now we should go into it.
All
20
right,
minutes.
you want to do it? Let's
Yay.
do it. All right, let me get the button ready. You ready? And go. Oh yeah, that was exciting.
Well, I had to find the button. That was awkward.
Um,
Oops.
all
Here we go. I saved
right,
it.
you got it. You got it.
I don't know.
Control S.
Oh, I could do that, I guess. I
Control.
was
What do you have? A
hitting.
Mackie Dacky? No, you have a PC, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah. Control S.
Boom.
Mm. But that you don't
Are
have
we?
to do that. That's just what I would do.
Yeah, I like to be.
You like to
You
move
know.
the mouse up there. Yeah, you like to feel
Mm.
organically a part of the process. And there's
Oh
nothing
yeah.
wrong with that choice.
Oh, are we gonna do? Should we do 4 or 5 lines for the ending of this writing stream?
Oh, it's up to you. It's up to you. Would you like to do the beginning or the ending?
Well, I'm like in the middle. I got 658 words for this chapter 8. Yay. I'll
So,
take it because I was at 50.
all right, that's great. Killing it.
So
That's a good sprint there. Listen, you read as many words as you want. I'm always happy to listen.
good. Oh, yeah. Well, I am very nicely pleased with this particular. It's not a rendition. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, why don't you
I'm
read it?
surprised I can put words together. Um,
Make us big. Make us big. Give us some room on the screen. Let us breathe a little bit.
oh, yes.
Oh wow!
Bing! Oh my
Oh look at us!
god.
All right,
Yeah. Well, let's see.
go ahead. Let's hear your masterpiece.
Well,
Masterpiece
I'm trying to
theater.
figure out where to go. Let's see. Um, I'm just jumping in.
Ooh.
Let's say. Okay. I think this would make sense. If not, it's fine. The government lets you bring plastic and other man-made things over, which is meaning the other world, which they can't. They don't allow that. Oh no, I like to buy handmade items that don't include plastic. Pottery, quilts, knitted sweaters, things like that. That sounds quite quaint, George muttered, approving of her hobby. Also supports small businesses, I added with a genuine chuckle. At times, Evangeline was so innocent and happy-go-lucky, she reminded me of a child. I honestly loved that about her, but I could also see how that put her into danger. Oh shit.
Ooh. It's
And
nice.
with that, I'm off to support a small business and go check out this apartment, Bloodsworth said, but I choked off a laugh. This place is definitely not a small business. I was trying to transition into me leaving without breaking up the happy moment. Unfortunately, you did that for me, he said with a wink and slipped out the door. Evangeline sighed. I understand the sentiment. I'm terrible at goodbyes. He's used to Irish goodbyes. Such a goodbye is incredibly rude, and even for a vampire, George declared to no one in particular. I didn't want to get into a debate on if Irish goodbyes were appropriate or not, so I pretended not to hear him and jumped to my feet. More
Okay.
chips, anyone? Evangeline asked, perking up at the idea of more food. Drusilla wasn't far behind. Of
Nice.
course. Of course.
Nice chunk. Nice chunky chunk. You chunked it
That
up.
was a good one.
That was
That
that
was
was
a
good
good
chunking.
one.
Yeah, I like
Hello,
the Irish part.
Eloise. Yeah.
Eloise, Eloise, look at me's, look at you's. Yeah, no, I like that. I like the Irish goodbye.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people think that it's rude, but I prefer Irish
No,
goodbyes.
you just hang. Yeah, you hang up the phone on me all the time.
And because Bloodsworth is Irish, and he doesn't. I'm not writing out an Irish accent.
Yeah,
No.
that's good
So
stuff. That's good stuff.
um, we have to reference that he is in fact Irish, but not in an annoying way. So Irish goodbye.
Okay, okay. I like that. That was good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, got some personality in it. You had some dialogue, some characters, some exposition. It was good.
Mm-mm. Yes, and that's where I'm at.
All right, that sounds
Where you at?
me.
Yes.
I'm in the. I just started the ending of the chapter,
Mm-hmm.
meaning like the last scene of the
Yeah.
chapter. Uh, if you want, I will read a couple of lines here. I'll give you some. I'll give you
Yeah,
some.
read those couple
All right.
lines.
I'll even give you a little.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read to the dialogue. So there's a little setup to the dialogue. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Hooves echoed off beech trees, their clatter flickering with each slowing step coming to a steady stop. An opening in the forest canopy consumed Devious in the white and red glow of moonlight. He lowered himself from Jessian and headed to the dark, black pool of dried blood soaked in the dirt. He kneeled down, stopping his hand only a few inches from touching it. His eyes closed as he retracted his hand from what he knew remained of the last few days. Devious shook off the memories recalled in his soul as he stood and climbed up the raised edge of the road. His horse stepped closer to the barbarian, breathing out a snort. Devious turned to him with a smile. The tunnel entrance is somewhere over there, he said to his horse, talking over his situation to break the loneliness of the night. He turned south into the darkness of the forest. The night forced him to squint to see anything more than shadows. No more riding for you. Devious turned his head toward the horse. You think he could walk a bit into the forest, though? Jessian snorted with a nod, because he's a horse. There you go.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's. I mean, I have more than that, but that was get a sense of Devious.
Oh yes.
You know. Ooh, what's this? Watching his brother turning his way and that in the mirror. What's wrong, Yuri? Yuri. Yuri. Touching the unblemished skin above his left eye, Yuri sighed. My scars. I've lost them. My skin once looked like a road map. I knew where each scar came from, what they meant, and how. I paid for them. If I had them, I might remember more. Now my skin looks like a newborn's. I feel like it's smothering me. You miss your scars? No, not exactly. I miss what they represented. My scars reminded me I was still alive when so many others were not. Yuri tried and felt his failed to explain. Wait, Yuri tried and felt he failed to explain, but Caliph understood. If you want scars, we can find some lava for you to swim in. That's funny. As I did, teasing Caliph grinned, adding, or I am sure the swordsman would oblige you.
Oh yes.
You got a chuckle out of me? That's a victory.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy to make me laugh. As you can see, mine is a comedy as well. When I read mine, did it give you a vivid a visual of the environment, or were you like, this is just a lot of talk?
No, I got the visual.
Visual,
Yeah.
yeah. You notice there's two colors of moonlight,
Oh,
white
I
and
didn't
red,
get that. Oh.
because it says the canopy opened up, consuming Devious in the white and red glow of moonlight.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're two moon, suns. It's a suns.
I have two
Yeah.
suns and I have five moons.
Mm.
Each moon represents a different god of magic. But I will say this as a little insider information. Every time the moons are out, they represent the mood or a theme of the scene or chapter. They are
Mhm.
consistent though. So if you know who the moons are, they actually kind of give a little bit of the story. So for this, uh, Luella is a goddess of white light and bliss, and then
Mhm.
Fate is the god of the red moon. So Oh, I got it, but I am very visual. It seemed like a lunar eclipse. Oh, it could have been, but this is chapter 60, so by now you would know that there are multiple moons with different colors. I have the kitten helped me type. I've got to go put the kid to bed.
Bye.
Bye, bye. I'll see you next time when you come to the show. It will be Wednesday, yeah, you got to know.
Oh wow, that's a great ending. We could do that next time.
Yeah,
You
if I
will be a
remember.
singer. I will just bob my head because I can't sing.
Let me see the head bob. We could be the night at the Roxbury.
Yeah. If I do the head bop on point of your ending song for all the writing streams, it will be a banger. Yeah.
I
We
could
might
even
be
change the
just known
styles.
for that. Yeah.
The next week will be death metal. No.
I like that as well. I guess it would depend on the mood at the end of each stream.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We'll streamline it.
Did we succeed and it's happy, or do we need like a sad ballad?
Let's just say the Writerly Write-a-thons next week at the Nook. I like it.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We're doing Wednesdays 5 p.m. PST. Though it might be moved. Actually, I'm thinking Thursdays from now on because there's this other thing that happens at 5 p.m. that I forgot. No.
By the way, that just means fingers.
Disgusting.
This is nothing but a dance. That's a
Disgusting.
dance. Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I don't do that
Yeah.
anyway. At my age, I can't even think about that stuff without hurting my back.
Yes. Well,
I'm talking about running.
it's unfortunate for you.
Hey, are you in the mood? Never. What, to take a nap? Absolutely.
Yeah. Wait, you just said a few minutes ago that it's hard to make you laugh, and I seem to make you laugh all the time, so I'm assuming that I'm a winner chicken dinner.
You are a winner chicken dinner. In fact, you're like 3 strikes in a row, you're a turkey. You know what I'm saying? I have a little silhouette of a book. Gotta write. Now we do the edit dango. Thunderbolts and
Wow, that's a good one.
lightning.
Very, very frightening.
Mama. Ooh.
Don't get me copyrighted. That would go up. I would need your expertise and your help if I ever got copyrighted. You would owe me that. That would be a thing. If you
Listen, I'll help you whenever you want, Nicole. As
yeah.
long as it's not like, Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Friday or Thursday or Saturday or Sunday. But any other day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Now, are you not going to write for the rest of the week?
Now there's some Page Pal stuff at ad school. They're silent though.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But also, well, I would have to check. Probably tomorrow would be the main one, but I took off Friday, and I'm not working my second job on the weekend, so I'm actually truly do have a 3-day weekend. What? Amazing!
You know what that means?
Well, when did I work? Last week, I worked 6 days in a row.
That's good.
Not even good. No. So I'm extra tired. I am.
That's a long time.
So yeah, I need the days off.
Mama moo. We didn't mean to milk you dry. If I'm not back this time tomorrow, dairy on.
Oh, thank you very much.
Do other ones. Watch
oh no. Well, I'm also doing just a very random stream
Ooh,
on Friday at 11 a.m. PST.
nice. Do
That's
it
like
up.
the only work thing. That's the work, not really work, but it's whatever. It is a stream.
Ever-
And I don't know how long it will go because why? Why not? I don't. Who knows?
Do you like doing the lives over doing the pre-records because there's less editing?
Well, then I have to deal with the fact that I just am there
Oh,
without
like this?
edits.
Hey, listen, I got a video with what is it, 15,000 views now, and I'm just doing this. As long as
Oh, is
it's
that when you're
entertaining.
outlining?
Yeah. Oh yeah, my outlining one. Yeah, yeah. I got a couple of video. Most of my videos that do well are the outlining ones. That's why I actually I just wrote 10 more outlining videos that I'm gonna just batch out and then just put them up. But
Boom.
I'm doing a streamlined, updated version of the one that is popular. It's going to be a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more straightforward. And then I did I'm doing 3 videos, one on Act One, Act Two, Act Three, and
Mm-hmm.
then as per your inspiration, I am doing a playlist series on mapping out a series or a saga of books.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
a each video will be a step in the process, and they
Well, that's also Eloise inspired.
oh Eloise, yeah,
Shout
thanks Eloise,
out.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Woohoo! Giving content out. We just share that over with her. I
Mm-hmm,
think she
mm-hmm.
said 7 books. I'm like,
7.
okay,
All right, that's
okay,
good.
7 or 5, something. It's a lot. That's
Are they
what
straight sequels or are they companions or are they
I think. Well, her book just came out. Eloise's book just came out. It's a Greek,
tragedy?
Greek, no, Greek. It's not a retelling. Um, I'm just gonna look this up before I BS it and not get it
Eloise.
right. Maiden of Artemis. Yeah, Greek and Roman myth and legends.
Wait,
But I think her. I have. Uh, I ordered it. I just haven't read it yet because I just ordered it. I should read it. I am pretty sure that she, like the main character, is made up, but then everything, like all the other people, deities,
who did a
for sure,
cover?
deities are
The
real-ish.
cover's nice. Look at the cover.
Yeah.
It's pink.
Uh, yes.
Want me to do a reading? I'll do a quick reading sample. Let's see. I could
If
do a
you can
reading.
see.
Yeah, I just have to make my screen bigger. All right, you ready? All right, let's do
Oh,
this.
like the read sample on Amazon.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are so funky.
I know sometimes they
I don't
definitely
know.
are. They're like, "What's going on?" I think I'll do the prologue. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's make the lettering a little bit bigger. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. All right. There was an ethereal perfection to Mount Olympus that put Artemis on edge. No matter how many millennia passed, each time she set foot in her father's kingdom, it was suffocating. Endless columns of white marble were as tall and strong as the trees of a forest, though they stood perfectly straight and unyielding. There were no sounds of life as far as Artemidas could see or hear in the sterling and pristine palace. Soft moss and crunching leaves were what she usually felt beneath her bare feet. Yet, on this day, her sage colored slippers tapped against the polished stone floor as she made her way to the throne room. A cloudless sky allowed for sunbeams to fill the open corridor, which reflected off the pillars but failed to warm her at all. Each step echoed off the walls, putting her further on edge. There you go. That's the first 2 paragraphs.
Very nice.
That was nice. That was nice. Okay. Yeah, it came out 7. Look, she has 7 reviews already, right?
Mhm.
Okay, it's about two people, right? The Artemides and Prince Otreras.
Yeah, I have no idea what that one.
Otria.
We're gonna have to look that pronunciation up on YouTube.
And I'll just do this. Boom. My computer has a thing. Otrera.
Otrera. Yeah,
Otrera. That's a good name.
it's a
That's
good
a
one.
good name. Yeah, I'll give it. What else? What else you want to know? You want me to read one review? Let's read one review. Let's see. Yeah. Let's do a 5 star. Let's do a 4 star. Let's kind of back it up a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I saw.
back it up.
You ready? Ready? I
Here we go.
saw this cover and I knew I couldn't walk away. I'm obsessed, okay, with Greek myths. But the legend of the first queen of the Amazons is vaguer to me, and I had to read this version of it. This story is the tale of a mortal woman caught up in the whims of gods and men as she tries, now hear me out, to find a way to survive. It is an adventure with an ever growing cast of women as Othera tries to figure out her quest in an ancient Greek landscape. Well, I would have enjoyed the story significantly more and been better immersed if it was closer to PG-13 than R. I did, however, enjoy the exploration of women's roles in ancient society and Athera seeking a better life for herself and those who joined her journey. I also very much enjoyed the romance, which is slow burn and not resolved by the end of the book. But I am compelled to continue the series to see where that goes. I can tell you. It's a good review.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I read this one to you? I want to hear your thoughts. You tell me if
Uh-huh.
this is a good review or not. It's a 3 star.
Oh
The
yeah, here we
title
go.
of the review is Another Feminist Retelling. Are you ready? Another Greek mythology fictional book. Oh, another Greek mythology. Another
Yeah,
Greek
no, well, we
mythology.
started right. Yeah,
How do you mythological? Is she
yeah,
saying that?
mythological. Or did they spell
Oh,
that
it's
wrong?
it's mythology. Yeah. Another Greek
Mythology.
mythology fictional book, but this time it's about the first tribe of Amazons. I liked it, but for me, it was a read once and done kind of book. It was fun, tension filled, and had some adult moments. So don't get this for your teens if you haven't had the birds and the bees talk. I enjoyed the characters and their dialogue. That's a good. I think that's a good. That's a good 3 star review. I think so. I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you
I
think?
don't know where people are like. Nowhere does she say that it's young adult. So
I mean, it's Greek, so you have to
yeah,
expect
I
some
don't.
sex.
Yeah, and then at the bottom it says this is adult historical fantasy
Oh yeah, it
adult
says
series
yeah.
intended for a mature audience due to trigger warnings for language, violence, and death and sexual situations. Hello.
What's that mean? What's a sexual situation like hand holding?
Sexy time.
What in a
Well,
book?
well, maybe for some people, hand holding, considering two people have already said that it's sexy.
Yeah, they said there's a lot of sexy stuff. One person said they
Well,
wish it was PG-13, but that's for them, not everyone. Hey,
yeah.
I give this book just from the 2 paragraphs I read. I'm in.
Oh yes.
I'm in. Let's read it. Let's read it. Let's make it happen. Um, what are your thoughts on as a writer putting sexy time stuff in your book? Do you kind of gloss over it, or and I'm not and when I say immerse into it, I'm not talking about like erotica writing. I'm just talking like
Uh-huh.
do you spend time on the intimacy, or do you kind of just gloss over it, like you imply that he kissed her and they fell into the bed, and then that's the end of the chapter. Like, how do you approach it?
Um. Well, for Patriot's Tale, it's glossed over, but then they don't really actually have sexy time.
What?
Um, I know, so sorry. When you get to the point, I'm so sorry I spoiled it for you because you're
Spoiled.
reading that book.
Great.
And then For in Danu's Curse, it's ki- there's there's one scene that you go through the sexy time, but it's not like, yeah, it's not erotica. It's
It's not.
maybe,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
even
it's
think it's a page. I'm trying to remember, a page or two maybe. And then brief encounters many times,
many many
and that's about
times.
it. The two foxes, that was not necessary whatsoever, and that's not Sarah, and that's not Red
Well,
Fox.
I'm
It
saying in
wouldn't
general,
work.
as an author, like what do you like? What do
Oh,
you like writing? Do you like when you approach sexy time scenes? Do you prefer to sort of be like, look, it's happening, but we're not going into the immersion, or are you like you kind of like exploring those moments a little bit more? Like, what's your preference in writing those? And again, as exploration, I don't mean erotica. I just and also
yeah. Well,
anyone could do whatever they want.
yeah. Well, well, based on what my books have, it would be not that much exploration. For
Well,
my
yeah,
books, I don't think it's particularly needed because they're, um, you know, if it's not needed, then it's not gonna go in. But
well
that's
that
just my opinion.
no. Like I get that. Like obviously, if you're writing like a young adult, maybe you might not explore it. But like in your
Yeah.
mind as a writer, because there's certain things I like to write that I enjoy writing. There's certain moments that I really enjoy writing, Uh but like you said, some books you can't put it in there or it's not necessary. But as a style of writing, cuz I personally I will it depends on the character's POV. Like
Hmm.
uh if a character isn't very quote unquote sexual, maybe they look at it differently than say a character that is more involved. Or like for example, I have characters that are into the S and the M, and so it's more explicit for them, right? So like
Hmm.
I'll take the POV into account, like who's experiencing it. I allow that to influence the narrative a little bit, but I don't like the greater detail. Like
Uh-huh.
I wrote a scene and I sent a chapter, and my friend was like, "You should really get into the nooks and crannies of it." And I was like, "I'm no, why?" And they're like, "Well, I like reading." Like the whatever, but using like the
Hmm.
rose open and engulfed
Oh
the
yeah, no,
dripping
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I'm like, I don't think I'm writing that kind of book. And she's like, yeah, but I like that kind of stuff. I was like, well, you could write that. She's like, oh, I love
Yeah.
erotica. I was like, this is a fantasy. Like, you don't get into it. But anyway, all right, never
Yeah. Not really hugely important to do that for
mind.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't.
for my books or for my characters. And
Ah,
definitely, no, there's no romance whatsoever in the urban fantasy mystery because that's not
you mean
the
they don't get
point.
together? That's stupid.
Like there's so many books where the main character gets with the vampire. I'm like, how about we not do that and they're best friends?
Yeah, one might say that storyline sucks, or it's bloody good time. One of the two.
Oh yeah, whichever one. Uh,
Eh,
just tickles your fancy. Hmm.
I will say this: my alpha readers have come back and said they appreciate the subversion of expectation to what traditionally would be seen with
Hmm.
romance and or death or any other stuff. And it's because I'm like if I was to write erotica, I couldn't do it because it's too funny. You got to come up with like ridiculous like idioms and stuff like that, and like you know. I do
Yeah,
smexy light and fade to black, but only stuff that applies to specific relationships in the storyline. But mostly, I don't do anal.
that's not what she said.
No,
You need to get it together.
sorry. I don't have my glasses on.
If she gets you, I'm not gonna hold her back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah. So, yeah. So they like that I subverted the relationship elements, the romance elements, and oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I'm
Yeah.
getting tired of the intrusion of erotica in other genres. Absolutely, it's a time and place. It's a
Yeah.
time and place.
Yeah. It's a little
I
too
did have
much.
I did
Like
have
not
someone.
everything is relationship,
Yeah,
but
like you don't
like
need the
how about
fun flying or the boom boom.
yeah, well my editor Sarah said, I appreciate that you have so many friendships and family relationships in Obsidian Murders and then like the rest of the series. And like
Yeah.
there's no romance because you know what? It doesn't need to be there all the damn time. And I'm like, thank you. I did not want to force them to do the hanky panky. Yeah, they
Uh,
don't need to do Tessa and Bloodsworth are not like that. And
yeah.
it's like,
I think it's harder to write friendships between male and female characters and do it well. And that's that's a testament to your writing, is that like their relationship is interesting and doesn't need. I I mean, obviously, if it does cross the line, it goes wherever you need it to as for you as the author. But I think it's great that you took that position, and you're like, you know what, their friendship is intimate. It's just friendship intimate,
yeah.
and I think that's strong. Um, I did have a reader. I showed him other stuff I was working on, and they go, why is this guy attracted to men? And I go, oh, he's gay. And she's like, but why? I was like, cause he's cause he's gay. And she's like, yeah, but he's a man. And I go, yeah, that's how the gay happens. And she's like, but it's the protagonist. And I go, yeah, and
Okay.
the protagonist is gay.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, it'll feel like you're throwing at people's faces. And I go, no, because I approach their relationship the same way I approach every relationship. It's not, hey,
Mhm.
we have man things, we should be gay. Like, it's not like, was it you I was talking to? That's like, I hate when characters, if they're gay and then they're just like, so I mean, there's only two ways you could write a gay character. Either they're, I'm gay, or like, or like, I'm not going to talk about it at all. And that's bad writing, in my opinion. Like don't
Mhm.
approach characters that have a specific sexuality as that sexuality, because now you're not writing a character, you're writing a sexuality. Um, her concern was that he was gay, and like, I'm like, but you're not concerned with the, and she's like, yeah, but I want to see him with the girl. I was like, oh, all right, well, well, that's a,
And we're just gonna drop you from the list.
yeah, that's a completely, he should end up with the girl. You mean the sister? Oh, that's the sister. Yeah, that's the sister.
Oh, someone's not reading and comprehending.
Well,
Nasty.
That's revealed much later.
Okay, well,
But
okay. But you
anyway.
can just drop that off the list. That's fine. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you for reading Obsidian Murders. Thank you.
That's right. That's right. 6 books altogether. Get ready for it. It's going to be a nice, happy ride. I demand a 7th secret book, but that's just me. In my Overcomer contemporary series, my gay couple is the longest lasting, most stable couple in the whole thing, and the least gay gays. That's great. I love that. Gay gays in the whole series. I feel that. I feel that. I have a lot
Yeah,
of
people playing on
LGBTQ in my.
stereotypes there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, how? Oh my,
Yeah.
cringe, people.
Well, that was the other thing. She was like, you have too many people that have like different sexualities. I go, well, the world has
That's the word.
variety. And she's like, yeah, but everyone's either bi or pan or gay or that. I'm like, yeah, but I also have straight people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they also get me a reject. Oh, Oh, they also got me a reject for refusing to turn them straight. Yeah. You know what you say to them?
Fine. Yeah.
Just do whatever you want. Just have fun writing character. My only suggestion, and please, this is just my opinion, not a demand on the absolute, but uh, when you write any character, it doesn't matter what their nationality is. It doesn't matter what their culture is. It doesn't matter what their sexuality is. It doesn't matter if they're a guy or a girl or a canopy. You writing strong characters starts with the emotional truth, and how they look on the outside is just the dressing. And if you write from the outside in, your characters will not have depth or dimension. You have to start from within with emotion and position, and then you just challenge those things. And then whatever they are thereafter is just a matter of that's like like for example, Nicole and I both look like we're white people, but she is not Sicilian and I am, right? But I am
Yeah.
also third generation. So compared to, say, my grandfather, there would be more Sicilian culture in that character. But I don't start with that. I start with the emotional truth. Whereas me, I'm more of a New Yorker, and that's mine is New York culture of Italian. Not that that's not impossible for a third generation Italian to have a deep connection to a culture, but somebody from Italy is going to be different than somebody from Long Island. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you wherever you grew up, it's going to affect your. So that's why I always start with the emotional truth, and then you could add on all this. What's he writing? A baker and a mafia hitman's son turned professional driver turned house dad are my most favorite couple of all of the ones that we. Oh, I thought you were making a joke based on my Sicilian thing, but as I finished that statement, I'm interested.
That's why you don't assume. You have to finish the whole thing.
Listen, I started laughing at the very beginning, but I'll be honest. This is 3 Men and a Baby for me. I'm ready. I'm in. I'm in.
Yep.
All
Well,
right.
oh, well, if you have that book out, drop that link so because he's probably in. He says he's in. He
Yeah,
wants
yeah,
to know.
yeah. Send us an email.
Send him an email at I don't know. You can probably look it up on his YouTube page.
Well, yeah, it
Yeah.
is. All my
Is
information
it?
is on the YouTube page. Speaking
Oh
of
yeah. Yeah,
the
drop that
right
YouTube page.
mindset, let's do it. Boom, there it is. The right mindset. Anyone want to fiddle faddle with me? I'm right there. It's all
Where did you
craft,
put it?
right on my under my name. The right mindset. That's
Oh,
all
I
you gotta
thought
look.
you were putting it. I thought you put it in the chat for like the
No,
link.
no. I'd have to load up YouTube.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, that's true.
but we do
Well,
interviews with other writers. We talk about craft, and I analyze story in all formats, all mediums, from movies to television to novels.
gorgeous.
But I don't review anything. I don't opinions. That's what a review is. It's an opinion. You know, I like
Well,
this.
that's
I
cool.
don't like this. Is not an analysis. Um,
Are you shading me and my channel?
No, 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 no. Like when you asked me to do a review on your book, I did an analysis review and not
Oh,
a experience review, because for me, reviews are opinions, and someone liking it or not liking it doesn't affect the quality of a book or a movie or television show. But an analysis is sort of looking at it as a technique, as a like when I look at your books, I'm looking at it from the view of a technician and the quality of that technical skill. Like if I watch a movie, I'm looking at the technical representation of the film and not necessarily like, did I personally enjoy it or not? Because I love great movies that are horrible. In my,
well, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like The Room is a fantastically terrible movie that I love, whereas some movies that are masterpieces, I'm not like shit. Like, believe it or not, the Citizens Kane, I, I can accept that movie is great. but I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
Uh-huh.
But that doesn't, like, I'm able to look at it technically, and take out my bias from them. But that is not shade on you for having reviews. I'm just saying the reason I don't approach them like I like it or not like it is because it's an opinion. Like, you never, if you don't like it, don't write the review. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Yeah.
like I didn't like it because there weren't enough feet. I wanted more feet descriptions. Like, that's not a review. Like, you just gave this book 1 star because it didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking. But like, they're valid. Like,
Uh-huh.
they would have enjoyed the book much more if there was more feet descriptions. But at the same time, it doesn't negate the
You with
quality of the book.
you with hot takes about
I'll hot take all night.
feet.
Hot
Okay.
take. Do we need
Hot
to
take.
get Jonathan's music over here for the hot take?
Uh,
I am waiting
so
for
the
my.
book,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, the book is not out yet, but he is interested.
Okay, yeah.
Just
Double
remember
M Ward.
for
That's all I'm saying.
okay.
Double M Ward. Ward.
Ward, yeah,
Ward. Ward.
Ward, yeah.
Ward.
Did
What is what is D?
Well, that would be a great ending.
Yeah, let's go.
We we were supposed to end on your little jingle,
Oh, jingle jangle. I don't
but
even remember it. I'm gonna
I
have to
didn't.
listen.
Yeah, I don't even remember. It's fine. Play that back, and then we can do that for later. Maybe I don't even know. Who cares? Thank you for joining.
Wait. Before we go,
Yeah,
next week we're meeting on Wednesday or Thursday for the audience.
it's Wednesday. Yeah,
Okay.
for the rest of February, it's just Wednesdays. There's not
Okay.
many Wednesdays left. Yes, I will also update you, Thomas, on direct message of to what's going on
Yeah.
because like I said, there's this other meeting that lasts 5 to 6 and I'm like, I forgot.
Okay.
I like
Like,
to go to those meetings.
I will update
But
you, Thomas, on whether you're coming back or not because of your wackiness, wacky wildness.
yeah. Yeah, we did a poll and I'm sorry, but you're not it.
You are
So
not the father.
no. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
All
Thank
right.
you. Bye-bye. Yes, thank you, everyone. And good luck next time.
Yeah. See you next Wednesday when we do 40 minutes of sprinting and 2 hours of talking.
Yes, it's gonna be good. We're gonna work on that, but it's okay. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, we'll find our rhythm.
Bye. Oh yes, thank you. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We're gonna end that on a positive note, even though I was crapping on myself and everything that I do. It's okay. We're gonna end. We love to see it. Bye.
Bye.